Alright, what's up, good people? So, quick Friday video here, guys. I want to show you what I think is, in my humble opinion, one of the better looking setups heading into next week in ENPH. ENPH. But real quick, we'll take a look here at the Mastery spreadsheet. And if you guys are interested, Sunday morning I will be live in the Mastery room at 10 a.m. Eastern to run a couple of scans and start building out the watch list for the week ahead. So check out the link in the description. You guys can go on ahead and grab the 7 Buckaroo 30-day trial. So I'll be in there on Sunday, and then I think next week we're doing live trading on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So check that out, guys. But for the spreadsheet here, no closed trades this week. Right? So we still have the call credit spread on the S&Ps. And mind you, that expires out in October. And we are looking for a couple more shorts here pretty soon. The only open trade from this week was ENPH. Right, so that's a setup we're going to cover, and we went on ahead and grabbed a call debit spread. So I'll keep you posted on those two trades. But for ENPH here, let's get rid of that real quick. All right. So ENPH is a solar stock. Right. So if we check out etfdb.com and we search for TAN, the solar ETF, you can see ENPH is the big boy. The big boy. Most heavily weighted stock at 13.5%. Then you got First Solar, Solar Edge, so on and so on. So as far as TAN here, pretty good looking daily squeeze. And notice the hourly chart. Those bars go from gray to blue. That means you got the positive moving average cross with the 21 EMA popping back above your 50 SMA. And that's really important because, you know, the daily squeeze, the price action above that 21 EMA, that kind of sets the stage for that potential move towards the upside. What's really going to trigger that explosive push towards our target is going to be some bullish action on your lower time frames. So notice how, you know, last time TAN goes on a big ripper there. You know, look at your hourly chart. Positive moving average cross, and eventually you got the big 3 buy signals. So TAN looks pretty good here, and as far as ENPH goes, this did actually get a downgrade this morning. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, you know, the downgrade just means that the big money wants to buy a little bit more, a little bit cheaper. So downgraded today, but this SOB looks pretty good. So a couple of things here. Good looking daily trend and structure. We got the daily squeeze, and then on the big 3 indicator, we got the buy signals on the daily, the 4-hour, the 2-hour, and the 1-hour charts, which you guys can see with the labels up there. So that tells me that we're in a buildup of energy. That's what the squeeze tells me. We're, you know, it's that moment in time when we're catching our breath, getting ready for a big move. What the big 3 indicator tells me, you know, and the more time frames, the better. So I love the fact you got 4 buy signals here. But what the big 3 indicator tells me is that trend structure momentum inside that squeeze is all super bullish. So the probabilities would suggest that squeeze fires to the upside. And you'll also notice here, guys, the hourly chart got that positive cross as well. So this looks pretty good here, I think, for a push towards 335, 340. So here's the game plan. And this is really important. You know, make sure you want to make all your business decisions, right? As traders, this is our business, right? You want to make all those business decisions before you even pull the trigger. All right, so a good trade really means that you know your desired entry, you know your profit target, which for us is about 340, and you want to know your exit. Right? You want to know all these things ahead of time. If you can map all of that out, then your only job is to follow the game plan. Right? You don't have to question where should I take profits. You don't have to question where should I take the exit. You know, make those decisions before the heat of battle. Because at that point, you're a little bit more liable to make decisions based on the space between your ears, which can get a little bit effed up. So for our game plan, 340 target to the upside. We're going to look for an exit on a close under the daily 21 EMA. And as far as the trade here, in the Mastery and in the options room. So for what it's worth, I don't typically do the same trade in both rooms. I got my wedding coming up in a couple of weeks, so trying to keep things nice and simple, easy to manage. So for the simpler trading rooms, we went with the October 7th. Yeah, October 7th, 295, 315 call credit spread. Call debit spread, excuse me. 295, 315 call debit spread. And then I actually grabbed a little bit more on my own before the close, and I went with the September 23rd, 295, 340. So basically the same trade, a little bit closer to expiration. But here's the beauty of it. No guarantees this trade has to work, but all we're trying to do as traders is just play the probabilities game. You only want to focus on setups where the probability of a move in your favor, is pretty high. Right? I think 70% of the time, we're looking for these daily squeezes with these buy signals to work in our favor. So that ends up in a good win rate. Now the thing about a good win rate is the best way that you can spoil that, so to say, is to have a shitty risk versus reward. So it's kind of basic math. If you can have a setup and a strategy that works 70% of the time, and if you can aim to have your winning trades 1.5 to 2 times bigger than your losses, you're in good shape. Working those numbers. So for ENPH, 340 target, 290-ish exit. That all sounds good on paper. What I think you guys want to get in the habit of doing is put your trade in the Analyze tab, and then actually look and see if that, does a trade make any sense? In terms of risk versus reward, is my loss at 290 the same as my potential profit at 340? Is my loss 2 times bigger than my potential profit? A lot of times the trade sounds good on paper. Like, yeah, I'll look for 340, I'll take it off at 290. Doesn't always make sense as far as the numbers. So, let's say this trade either works in my favor or goes against me into next Friday, September 16th. So into September 16th, and let me just go do this. So into next Friday, if we get a move down towards 290, on those 2 call debit spreads, I'm going to be down about $2,000. If I catch my move towards 340, right, into next Friday, at 340, I'm up about $4,500. I really can't ask for anything more. I love the setup. I got my own buy signals. Everything lines up here. Doesn't mean it works this time, but I think if I take 100 trades that look like this, 65, 70 are going to work in my favor. My only job is to make sure I'm taking the exits in a fashion where the risk reward is working in our favor. So to me, that's a good trade. I'm risking about 1 to make about 2. Risking 2,000 to make about 4,500. Right? So I like that. 1 to 2 risk versus reward. Very solid stuff. So I will cover the overall market, all the big picture stuff in the Sunday video. And again, if you guys want, check out the Trial to the Mastery, and you can join us on Sunday morning, and then you can join us next week for a little bit of live trading on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But for now, guys, I do think maybe a little bit more upside in the market. We got a big options expiration next week. I still think eventually we're going to roll over. So as far as the S&Ps and the Qs, for now, open to changing my mind. But for now, I'm viewing this as a rally we can eventually short. But for things that look like ENPH, good trend, good structure, big 3 buy signals up the wazoo, and some squeezes. Pretty good combination. You slap on an option strategy that offers a good risk reward. All you can ask for. So hope you guys found this helpful. I will update you on the ENPH trade, and we'll see what next week has in store. Talk to you on Sunday. Adios.